Hi photographers! In this tutorial I'm going to go over how to make your mini planets in Photopea. So first you're going to need a landscape photo. So once you have that, open up photopea.com and go to File, Open, and then select your photo from your desktop or computer. Your landscape photo should have a horizon line. If you have people in your landscape photo, they will be distorted. So just keep that in mind. Once you have your photo, you're going to flip it vertically. To do this, you're going to go to to Edit, Transform, and you're going to say Flip Vertically. Then you're going to use polar coordinates to bring your corners of your photo together into a circular distortion. So you're going to go Filter, Distort, and Polar Coordinates. It's going to wrap your photo around into a little mini planet. You're going to hit OK. And then we're going to duplicate the layer just in case we make a mistake with blending the scene. So we're going to click where it says Background, and we're going to right click and choose Duplicate Layer and turn your background original off by clicking the eyes next to it. We're then going to try to blend the seam by using Gaussian blur. So go down on your toolbar to the dotted rectangle, click and drag a section out over the seam where the two corners of your photo meet. And then you're going to go up to your Filter button at the top and choose Blur, Gaussian Blur. Choose a pixel range that won't be too obvious. I'm going to go for 4.3 and hit OK. Then we're going to deselect this rectangle by going Control D on our keyboard, and we're going to choose the blur tool from our toolbar that looks like a little tiny raindrop. You can choose the strength and the size. Make sure that your brush is set to 0% in the hardness scale, and try working with a medium-sized brush. I'm going to work with 99 pixels. Then I'm going to gently paint the edges of where the box was to blur those seams, and I'm going to blur the edge of where that mountain comes into play. I don't want to see the edges of the rectangle where the Gaussian blur took place. And I'm going to do that a little bit until I'm satisfied with the edges of the box. If I think I could do a little bit more to match colors up, I'm going to try using the clone stamp tool. The clone stamp is the middle of your toolbar, looks like a stamp. Your keyboard shortcut is S. You're going to select an area by holding Alt to sample. So I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard. The crosshairs will appear, and I'm going to click over the trees. And then if I bring my brush size up a little bit, I'm going to be able to sample those trees or paint from that sample on the other side. As you can see, it's a little bit noticeable right now because I'm using a hard edge brush. So I'm going to Control Z to undo and change my brush to 0% hardness, so I'm not going to see the edge of my paint. And then I'm going to paint those trees, and I can get that just to blend in a little bit more. I can do the same with the sand and hold Alt on my keyboard to sample a new selection of color and paint across to try and blend the scene. I'll do that one more time. Hold Alt on your keyboard, click to select, and then as I begin painting, it's going to paint from all the pixels around where I was selecting. When I'm done blending and I'm happy with my scene and how I have sampled pixels and blended the colors and the edges. I'm going to flip it back over vertically so that it's not as noticeable in the center of my image. So I'm going to go Edit, Transform, flip vertically, and I'm all done. When you're happy with your mini planet, you're going to go File, Export As, and choose JPEG. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions by sending me an email.